Welcome back. Yes, this is still Good Morning Abuja on NTA Channel 5, the Unity Station. This time we want to, look at the Nigerian tea and coffee industries. We want to look at the opportunities. Opportunities are available to them for growth. Okay, and we have a business analyst, or should I call him expert, in the house, in the person of engineer Abayomi Onosoya. He is the global director of African House. So he is going to share with us the opportunities, opportunities available for growth in the Nigerian tea and coffee industry. Please join me as I welcome him.
Good morning.
Special welcome.
Thank you for
A very
having
good
me.
morning to you.
Very good morning.
Thank
Good
you
morning.
so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having
Wow, the Nigerian tea and coffee industry. When was the last time I heard of that industry?
That industry, right? Well, I mean, it will shock you that the industry has been around for some time, really.
Wow.
Even older than most the other industries, in fact. And people do not know that our journey in this particular sector started in 1930s. Actually, you see, and we had a very vibrant coffee and tea industry. And then, but over the last several decades, the industry has been neglected. And then as a result, people don't even know that we produce these commodities, and when you say Nigeria, everybody thinks of oil and gas and nobody thinks of all these things, you see. And we have some of the best, tea varieties, in the world, I mean, I haven't been outside the country for a couple of decades, and I tasted Nigerian coffee, the island tea to be specific, from Taraba. I was like, wow, this tea is actually very, very, very good. You see, and then you wouldn't, like they say, you don't know what you have until you lose it. So, but the industry is there, it exists, but we need to expose Nigerians to the opportunities available in this industry, and also for the government to come in to support them, to ensure that we grow this industry properly, and then we start earning foreign income from foreign industry, and also creating jobs in the process.
Okay, so let's begin to highlight the challenges this industry has. Because as you're talking, my mind was just going through a lot of beverages we take, so I was just thinking coffee, tea. Oh, this industry, they've redone because we have a lot of beverages around. So let's begin to look at their challenges.
Well, the number one challenge of these two crops is awareness. Awareness in terms of the amount of money we can earn from this industry. And to drive that point home, we need to understand that the coffee industry alone is worth more than $500 billion, the coffee industry. And the tea industry is worth about 50 billion also. So there's a whole lot of money to be made.
Because everybody takes tea.
Thank you.
Everybody takes tea.
Exactly.
In the morning, if you've not taken tea, you've not taken coffee.
Even now, I feel like having a cup of tea.
Honestly, I do
You know what I'm saying? So to the awareness. So people only see tea as something we just drink, like, beverage. But we've not seen the dollar and the cent part of it, the naira value of it. You see, so number one is awareness. And the second part is, after the awareness, then there has to be certain structures put in place. There's no structure. Till now, we do not have a proper, I don't want to use the word organization, a proper government structure that takes care of coffee and tea. You see, we do not have it. Unlike petroleum, you have so many agencies and whatnot, and another industry. So coffee doesn't have that structure. So as a result, people are confused to know that, okay, where do I start from? Even let's say you want to start a business in coffee or tea, where do I even start? So those are the two major challenges that I see, and once you're able to remove those obstacles or highlight those things, then you discover that a lot of people will be investing money in coffee. You see, and it will surprise you that we have more than 2,000 farmers who farm coffee and tea in Nigeria. A whole lot.
Wow.
And you can, for example, for tea, is mainly grown in the Mambila Plateau, like Taraba, Plateau State, and other states in the Mambila Plateau area. And then for coffee, interestingly enough, coffee can be grown in 14 states in Nigeria. 14. And having said that, you discover that outside Nigeria, there's a huge coffee culture. Where here we talk about tea, out there is coffee. When everybody wakes up in the morning on the way to work, you think of coffee. Some people will not even say good morning unless they've had their cup of coffee. in the West. So the opportunities are huge. Once we're able to remove all these challenges, people will be smiling to the bank, and we're blessed.
Let's also look at the market.
Wow. The market for coffee, you see, is mainly in the Western and European markets, you see, where people pay as high as $4-5 for a single cup of coffee, you see, which is money. And when you look at the tea aspect of it, interestingly enough, people a lot of countries import tea. The number one on the list is Pakistan, followed by America, followed by Russia, and then you have several other nations. In the Middle East, for example, you drink coffee at least 10 times a day. At least 10 times a day. When you come
The
to someone's
market is huge.
it's there. You don't even need to look for the market. Let me give you a practical example. Do you know that in Sri Lanka, the tea industry employs 650,000 people?
Tea industry alone.
Only tea industry, and each person now, the government is they're trying to increase the salary. In fact, they've increased it. The minimum wage for a coffee, a tea plantation worker or somebody in the tea industry
That works in the industry.
earns is $5.60. That's about 9,000 naira per day.
Per day.
Per day.
So by the time you add up per month.
Thank you. So all these young people, energetic people we have in Nigeria, we can easily employ 10 million youth with our tea cultivation. And the Mambila Plateau alone is 9,300 square kilometers of land. So we can do a lot of tea cultivation. And the people doing the tea cultivation, in fact, again, this will shock you, Nigeria can only meet 10% of its tea demands. That means 90% is being imported.
Okay.
So now imagine if we even decide, let's just meet the local tea demand alone. You know how many jobs we're going to create? Because tea is labor intensive because you have to pick the leaves. The leaves have to be picked, either if you go to I think China or so, I don't know, I think Japan, tea is being picked leaf by leaf, because they want to make all this expensive, high quality tea. And the beauty of it is that there's something for everybody. You can decide as a tea business person that, fine, I just want to do general green tea, or I want to do black tea or yellow tea and all the 6 varieties of teas that exist. So there's something for everybody. And our tea is still in its purest form, unlike the other teas around the world that's been adulterated, And, I don't mean any harm here, but if you look at the teas that we drink in Nigeria, they're like the not even third class range of tea, like the 10th class. For people who know tea,
So we're looking at quality too.
Quality, thank you.
Quality.
Our quality is still very, 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 very good. And if we and you don't necessarily need to be the farmer to be involved in the tea or coffee business in Nigeria. You can be on the different parts of the business. You can be the guy who packages the tea, or the exporter, or the guy who processes it. But there's opportunity for everyone, from the smallest to the biggest business person.
Okay. So let's look at we've seen their challenges from just what you say. As an expert, how do you think government can come in?
Well, government can come in, number one, by sensitization. They need to let Nigerians know that there's a business opportunity, or there are business opportunities in the tea and coffee industry. And they will do that by information dissemination, like what we're doing on NTA, letting Nigerians know there's billions and billions to be made in coffee industry. That's number one. Number two is that government needs to help create that international promotion for Nigerian brand, for Nigerian tea. Because people do not normally associate us with tea. I give an example. When I was in Sri Lanka, even till now, Sri Lankan tea is called Ceylon tea. Ceylon is the old name that the British used to call Sri Lanka before they got independence. And for any tea that you see Ceylon, it's top quality. In fact, that name has been trademarked, that nobody else can touch that name. So if you're a manufacturer of tea in Sri Lanka, or you buy tea from Sri Lanka, you have to go through an application process to check your quality, and then the government will give you the permission to put that logo on your pack as Ceylon tea. And anywhere in the world, when you see Ceylon tea, you're sure you're drinking the best. Nigerian government needs to do that for our island tea from Taraba, from Plateau State, so that the moment you see island tea, you know this is from Taraba, this is from Plateau, and the quality is unparalleled. So they need to promote us so people will associate Nigeria with high quality tea.
Okay.
Then we start selling for higher prices. Ordinary pack of tea, maybe in London, for example, maybe it's £50. But when you see Ceylon tea, you're paying £400-500. In fact, there's a box of tea. I don't want to mention the name of the brand now. They package their tea in like these wooden boxes. Very fancy, very expensive. You know, and you just take a tea, and you know, it's like for big boys, you know, when for presidents. In fact, it is rumored that President Putin has those box on his desk that only for big people when they come to visit him. So we need to create that awareness of Nigeria tea.
Honestly.
You understand? So once
Proudly
we do that,
Nigerian.
thank you, proudly Nigerian. So the moment we see that, people say, "Oh, Nigerian tea, I want Nigerian tea, I want Nigerian tea." So the moment they do that, all of us will start getting into the business and we'll start cultivating and we'll start making money.
This is amazing. This is amazing. And you know, one thing is that they don't need to look for market for it.
They don't need to.
They don't need to, because everybody takes tea. And
that's true.
Like you said, quality.
Yes.
Quality, and government needs to come in. Thank you so much. I'm sure someone that wants to, invest or wants to go into business is saying, wow, tea. Okay. So that's what we're here to enlighten, educate, and inform you. And that's what we've just done. Opportunities in the Nigerian tea and coffee industry. So you can tap into it. All right. Thank you so much, Engineer Bayo. Thank you for always and always giving us ideas. I call them divine ideas to make wealth. So we are ready. All right. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.